Hey guys!
What's up, everybody?
It's Mo.
And T.
How y'all doing today?
What's up, yeah?
So today we are going to do a Q&A dealing with marriage.
Yeah,
You ready for this?
yeah,
I guess we can both answer.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, well then I'm going to start with you then. So, what was different from your wife than any other girl that you... Let me start over. What was different from your wife than any other girl that made you feel like she was the one?
What was different from my wife than any other girl? Several things. Several things. Initially, what I always tell her, the first time I saw her was in church. She didn't know me at the time, but I saw her worshiping. And you see people singing, you see people worshiping, but it was just something different. I saw her, like, she was all the way in, man.
I love me some worship.
So it was beautiful. I think that was my initial hook, before even knowing her. I think before even a relationship, like, I saw that about her up front. So, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, that was initial.
Touche. Does that mean it's my turn?
Yeah. But it said wife, and that's my husband.
Well, it said husband, but I just switched it to say wife.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, well, for one, I love to laugh. Like, if you can make me laugh, I'm not gonna say you're in, but you're in. So, and I love like corny stuff too. It's probably because I'm awkward and weird, and I feel like if you can deal with me being awkward and weird, then
There it is.
we're good. So that was like one of my first things. It was making me laugh, and then this amazing infectious smile that he has. Come on, show the smile. Isn't it so beautiful? I love it. Love it. But really, for real. The first thing for me was communication. For some reason, and I get it, in past relationships when it comes to guys, and communication is trash. But just how easy it was just to talk to you, knowing nothing about you, but just that we could have a conversation that didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like, oh, I have to try so hard. Like, it was just genuine, like we had just known each other forever.
Yeah, old married couple.
Literally. Literally. So I think that was it for me.
Right up.
Yeah. Okay, next question. When did you realize that you wanted to put a ring on it? And were you nervous?
Was I nervous? No. I was not nervous. I realized I wanted to put a ring on it after our initial messaging back and forth, sharing our testimonies.
Wow.
And she was still talking to me.
Was that really just a big thing for you that I was still talking to you?
Yeah. And then also, following that, that was the initial. That was like, yo, yeah, I can, yeah, boy. So, but after that, there was a situation that came about wherein she gave me an ultimatum.
Without it really being an ultimatum.
Yeah, it wasn't an ultimatum, but it was in a sense kind of like I'm gonna pump the brakes because you need to handle this situation.
Right.
And I was just like, no.
No.
We're not going anywhere here. And it wasn't nothing crazy, but it was pivotal, I guess. It was a pivotal situation that I needed to take care of. And she called me on it, and she was just like, I'm gonna need you to handle that, or I can back up. I'm good where I am. So, boom, I did it.
Boom. Well, I can't answer that one because I didn't put a ring on your finger, so there is that. So,
Did you say yes?
I mean, I did say yes, basically. So how is married life going, and is it different than what you expected? I guess for yours, this might be a two-part, if that's okay.
Go right ahead.
Because you've been married before. I
A lot of
guess.
people don't know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay.
And that's where your son comes from. So, so how is married life going, and is it different? I'll say that. Is it different from what you expected because you had already been married before?
Oh, 100%. Like, it's a whole nother everything. I mean, and quite honestly, it's a whole nother me.
That's
to
true.
a lot of degrees. Like you said, my initial. A lot of people don't know that too, because when we speak about my son, people tend to go all the way to, that girlfriend or that one night stand or that
Right.
somebody baby mama type of deal. But
Right.
no, I was actually married to my son's mother. We were together for quite a few years, and he came along.
Yeah.
So there was nothing crazy. This was legit marriage.
Solid.
So that just went awry, and for whatever reason, things just and so here we are.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was a different person then. I was had to learn a lot about being a male growing up. That whole communication thing that she was talking about, I had to learn that back then. So that was like a result of the learning process, was learning communication, learning how to talk, learning how to be better and do better in certain aspects of being a husband and a male. So that made me a better me. I feel like I was kind of okay, good, but that just amplified who Terrence was per se.
Yeah.
So what was the other part of that?
How's it going? How's married life going?
And yes, so in transition, learning about myself and the flaws of me, and God making me a better me, brought me to her, and I was able to implement the things I had learned that God had taught me. Because I was on hiatus for a good little while before even dating again or talking again, and there was a short relationship between the prior and her and I, and that was short-lived. But I learned from that as well, and God just brought me to where I was supposed to be, basically.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ditto. Married life is great.
It's amazing.
Different than what I expected. Yes, for some reason. Well, I shouldn't say for some reason. You hear a lot of like, oh, once we got married, everything changed. And I guess in some ways, some things obviously should change. But like, you're still my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I still love you. I'm still in love with you. We have so much fun together, and I can literally just be my awkward, weird self. And he accepts me for me. Which I'm sure that's how it should be anyway. But yeah. Yeah, I guess honestly, marriage is different than what I expected, because I have been around a lot of people that are married, including my parents too. They're been married for 35 years now. So I've gotten to see the good, bad, and the ugly, which is great because at least it kind of prepares you for what's to come. Granted, everyone's different, but there will always be trials and struggles in marriage, and it's how you get through it. And I found a great one to go through this life with. Okay. So, on to my next one. How long were we engaged before we got married?
Let's see.
June to April.
July. Yeah.
10 months.
Yeah.
So almost a year. Excuse me.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, the planning is horrific.
That's the next question.
Oh, it is? Oh, sorry.
So what advice would you give someone planning their wedding?
Don't do it. Just go downtown. Take your family. Y'all go downtown.
I want to talk to someone who literally said like, oh, my wedding planning was like the greatest thing. I want to talk to at least one person, because yes, like part of it was fun, especially like with my sister and doing that whole thing. But like the little intricate, I'm not like that type of person. I'm not like pay attention to detail, very intricate. Like that's not me. So the fact that there was so many little tiny details and everything, I was just like, oh my gosh, just pick something and let's just do this.
I see, I'm the opposite, but I'm not the bride.
Right.
So.
But I did involve you in a lot of.
You did. I didn't want no parts of that.
Yeah.
But my contribution was my suit. So I was very,
which was magical. Look at the wedding video. Magic.
Yeah,
straight magic. And I was surprised by that too.
Yeah, so I picked up. Well, the thing is, yeah, like she said, she was surprised. She knew her colors. She gave me little swatches, I think they're called, of my colors, and I took that, ran with it, and designed myself a tux to the T. Yeah.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
So I matched her. It was actually perfectly, because I hadn't seen her dress. She hadn't seen what I was going to wear. So the first time she saw what I had on was at the wedding.
What? Who that?
And vice versa. And it was absolutely amazing. It was perfect.
Pure magic. So the advice on planning a wedding, have a good support team around you. Pinterest is life. Like, our entire wedding was Pinterest. So, sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Yeah, Pinterest literally helped me with everything. I think once you finally get an idea of like your colors and you can kind of figure out decor and things like that. But I mean, advice is literally just take your time. Try not to stress out too bad. And at the end of the day, there could be things that go wrong day of the wedding, but no one's gonna know but you. Yeah. Like during ours, we had the toast, and my sisters and your brother, no one had their glass to raise to do the toast. But it obviously didn't bother anybody, so it was fine. So that's my advice. Do you have any other advice?
Have as much fun as you can, because it's gone just like that.
I'm glad we have the video, because otherwise I would have no clue. Like, I know I said yes, and I do. So other than that, I'd have been like, man, that went by real quick.
Yeah. So, get you a good videographer. Yeah. Take plenty of pictures and have fun.
Yeah, I like that. All right. How do we resolve issues that occur? And do we give each other space to cool out or talk it out in the moment?
I think it depends.
We learned that one quick.
Yeah, on what it is. Me, I'm a space person. I grant space or kind of use space. Fortunately, the way I work gives me a lot of space because I'm off and out and driving a lot of the day. So, but yeah, I think my wife's dues on stuff too. She is spinning in her mind. And it's ready to just unload. Oh. But yeah, I don't fussing and
we established that in the beginning, like the whole raising your voice, because I was a queen arguer. Ooh, could I argue all day? And I learned, like, especially being single before meeting you, like, it's not okay. Number one, it's not healthy. That's not a healthy relationship at all. So that taught me how to have health in my relationship for sure, and how to have healthy communication. So I think that we have healthy communication. There are just times that I know within myself that I have to learn to, I guess, not let it stew for so long. I mean, it's really not a long time. It's not like it's a day. It's just, I give myself time, I give you time, and then we kind of just talk about it.
Mm-hmm. And it works. Yeah. It works. It
it's
works.
What works for us.
Yeah.
It may not work for everybody, because before I want to be able to talk about it like right then and there when something's bothering me. And now I can kind of process a little bit. That way I'm not reacting so fast and having an attitude.
And that is key. That is definitely key, because that can change the direction of a disagreement.
Right. Real
very
quick.
Quickly. Yeah. Very quick.
Real quick. So. All right. And last one. So now that we're married, do you feel like we're more connected? And what has been a noticeable change in yourself and in me?
Me?
You can go ahead.
Do I feel like we're more connected? Since we've been married, I think it's been continual growth from prior to marriage, because you can't just start at marriage, because the wedding is just a public display of, our love and basically confirming, we're in this.
Right.
But it starts way before then, the dating process, learning about each other. I think the biggest thing for me would be our spiritual walk, because
Yes.
we're fortunate enough to be able to, well, we see a lot of each other.
Well, yeah.
So throughout the week, that's amazing. But we get to, we believe in God.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
Yeah.
We believe in Jesus Christ. So we get to study.
Mm-hmm.
We get to pray together. I get to encourage her. She gets to encourage me. We get to worship together. We
Right.
get to lead worship together and sing,
Which is awesome.
which is amazing. So our life continually grows. So for me, I couldn't ask for anything more, I guess. I mean, she's beautiful, right?
You are so cute. Stop.
She's pretty amazing looking, right?
Goodbye.
I get to look at her, I get to sing with her, I get to sing beside her. She's my partner on
My
the
dancing
platform.
partner. Yeah.
So it's a continual thing. I don't think it ever stops.
No.
Unless
And
you
it shouldn't.
Yeah. That's about
Yeah.
unless you stop it. So
And what's a noticeable change
a noticeable
with you
change
and within me? Well, that you've seen or noticed.
that I've noticed in you.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed in you your desire. It's crazy to go back to it, but your desire to perfect your works of ministry, or maybe even go harder on your works of ministry, has amplified, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So, notice that.
Lit. So for me, yes, obviously I feel like we have a deeper connection, but again, like you said, it's a continual thing that I hope and pray that will continue to just grow. And what was the other part of it?
You want to read it?
Yes.
Because I don't remember.
More connected, and what has been a noticeable change in yourself and in him? My communication, I feel like, has changed. It's a gradual change, but one step at a time. My attitude, I feel.
Sure. Because she tells me of prior stuff, so I don't know. I haven't experienced that, so all I know is what she tells me and who she is now. So
cool.
You'll
like this person a lot better anyway. But noticeable with you, not much of a change. I feel like you've been very consistent through dating and in marriage. Your communication, I feel like, is really good, and then there's times where I feel like I have to dig a little bit for some things, but for the most part, I feel like you've been very consistent. My opinion.
Well, I'll take that. I think, and this is just a little adding on, I guess.
Little nugget.
I think. Well, for me, let's put it like this: my go-to relationship, like I tell her all the time, was my grandfather and my grandmother, because they were together for several years. So much so that they passed away like a week apart.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So that was absolutely hard. But my staple relationship to, feed from or draw from was theirs. And my grandfather was absolutely always consistent. Like, for all the years I've known him, he was consistent. Like, consistency was key in his loving her and his love for the church. He was a bishop. And his love for life, his love for his grandchildren, his children, no matter what, it was on point at all times. And I think I picked that up from him. And I always wanted to be, like, no matter what it was, I want to be consistent.
And that he has been opening doors. He shows me in every which way that he loves me. There will never be a doubt. There could never, ever be a doubt in my mind that he doesn't love me, because he shows me tells me, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I even have a tattoo that says love is a verb because it's an action.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could tell me you love me, but then you could slap me around every day.
Right.
That's not love.
That's definitely
So
not love.
that I am like, I tell everybody, I'm like, there's no way. And anyone that knows him and knows us, they just know, like, I even had my aunts tell my mom, like, at the wedding, you can tell it that he really, like, truly loves her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Got the right one, baby.
Like I said, you stuck, son.
Yeah, we did say that in our vows. Like, this is it. You mad? Go to the other room. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
fine.
We good.
But then come back.
Yeah,
And we're gonna go to sleep next to each other.
Yeah. Because I need to be touching.
So that is our Q&A on marriage. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other questions that you would like to ask us, put it in the comments. And don't forget, subscribe.
Yeah, come check us out.
Subscribe.
Let's do it.
And we will hang out. You have a good one.